And on to South Africa, the issues of racism at schools have been a concern in the southern country, South Africa, for some time now. Now, the latest one was 12 Pretoria girls, high school pupils, suspended after opening a whites-only WhatsApp group filled with racism and microaggression. Similar allegations have been raised in the past, but the worrying factor is that it seems the measures put in place have not worked satisfactorily. Now, the Save South Africa Civic movement is condemning the behavior and calling for a three-port-leg approach that will first concentrate on the background of the children fingered in the issue. Further, they are calling the authorities to also take into account the allegations levied against the principal and other members of staff. And now joining us to discuss this is Campaign and Communication Director, Save South Africa Civic movement, Tebogo. Are you there, Tebogo? Thank you so much for coming on. It's a very sad news that we're getting from out of South Africa. But what more can you tell us about the racism at Pretoria High School and your concerns, especially with the Save South Africa Civic movement?
Thank you so much, and afternoon to your viewers. You know, this is not a first thing or first instance. It happened before, where there was an issue of hair, the white girls and the black girls arguing about the issue of hair, and then that matter, you know, raised a lot of things. They also mentioned the fact that the principal did not do anything, and then the Gauteng education came on board. They tried to solve the issue, and then we thought that the issue was resolved. But now we are faced with the same situation again. And this actually tells us that, you know what, whatever that they used that time, it never worked. Actually, they tried to manage the situation. It had nothing to do with solving the problem. So we are so furious, but our anger is not necessarily directed to children per se. Our anger is directed to the elders, elderly people, meaning the principals and the staff, who actually perpetuating this type of behavior, because these are kids who learn this behavior from someone else. So actually the adults are an extension of the kids are the extension of the adults. So we are saying we are not happy and we are very angry at what happened.
Yeah, it's about really, really sad when you think about it. But one has to look at the current state of racial tensions in South African schools. What is this like when it comes to racial tensions in the schools? And how has this impacted student learning and well-being? I'm sure it must have impacted it significantly.
Yes, that's true. Because, you know, South Africa actually never dealt with this issue of racism. When we took over as black government after '94, it was like everything is okay. So they never paid attention when coming to issues of racism. Because you look at universities, it's happening again. You know, there was an instance where the white boys at university were urinating in the food of black people, and then taking the black women who are working there and moving them around as if they are slaves. So actually, the issue of racism in South Africa is real, and then the government is not ready to deal with this issue. They're just
you're saying it's not just
no to racism.
So it's not just in schools, in high schools now, it's also in universities as well.
Yes, yes.
I wonder what it's like for the primary and nursery and kindergarten schools, where it's much more younger children and they are more susceptible to, and they're not able to express themselves.
Yes, and it's unfortunate because, you know, the kindergartens cannot talk. They don't understand what is racism. And to be honest with you, this thing comes from the parents, you know. They're the ones who teach their kids all this nonsense of a black person is nothing. You are superior to black people. So they come here with that attitude, and really it's not good. Even now, AfriForum is building a school. It's a Afrikaners only institution. What the hell is that? What nonsense is that one? Where in democratic country, where Madiba came and Tutu came with this thing of rainbow nation. We are only the black people are the only ones who are focusing on this issues of rainbow nation. But when coming to the white people, it's a different case. AfriForum is building an institution, only white people. So what can we say about that? But the government is there, the black government is in power, but nothing is happening.
And it begs to ask the question that if the government is not addressing this, what more the teachers and the parents of these schools and seeing how this racism and this microaggression cases are being perpetrated, what do you think they should be doing better and differently? My final question, because we're pressed for time.
Yes. No, it's very easy. When you want to deal with issues of racism, take racism and put it in the curriculum. Teach the children about racism. Show them where we're coming from and the impact of racism. So if you put that in curriculum, I think that will be much better. So don't just say it in the media and the president comes and say no to racism. Only they react when there's a situation. Because I can tell you, after this incidents, there'll be more coming. And then there will be speeches and speeches, political speeches about the very same thing. So we are very angry, but we said we are giving the Gauteng department to deal with the issue. Failure to do that, we will take the matter forward.
Well, we do hope that change is near, and I hope that all the right stakeholders and the teachers are looking at this and wanting change as well. But Bogo, many thanks. We appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you so much, and also to your viewers. Thank you.